Welcome to CAD Studio. In this tutorial, we are going to design and assemble a pipe vise in SolidWorks step by step. A pipe vise is an essential tool used to securely hold pipes during cutting, threading, or welding operations. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create each part from sketch and then assemble into a complete working model. This tutorial will help you improve your design skills and understand real-world mechanical tools. So let's get started. Now let's start the first part. First we create a plane for sketch, front plane, and then create a center line as vertical infinite length. Okay, now here we create a random sketch and then assign the dimensions just like this one. Okay, now we assign the dimensions. First we create angle between these two lines, that is 45. Okay, and then we assign the dimension from this point to the center line, that is 34. And now the dimension of this line, that is 36. Enter here. Okay, and this line is also a 36 millimeter length. Okay, now we assign the length of this line, that is 44 millimeter. Enter here. Okay, and this one is 25 millimeter. Okay, now all sketch is fully defined sketch. Now then we apply the fillets. Select the fillet command and select these two lines, also these two lines. Okay, and dimension is 8 millimeter. Enter here. Okay, now look here. Okay students, this is basically a one side of the whole base sketch. Now the one thing is remaining, that is we make a hole, create a circle just like this one. Okay, now we assign the dimension, that is 13 millimeter dia. Okay, and the distance from the center of the circle to the center line, that is 48 millimeter. Okay, now look here. Now here one thing is remaining, that is the distance from the center of the circle to the top of the sketch, that is 22 millimeter. Okay, now look here. The full sketch is fully defined. Now we can use a mirror command and then select all the sketch, all the lines, and mirror about center line. Okay, now look here. Okay students, our whole sketch is ready. Now we applying a fillet at this edge. Select the fillet command and select these two lines and then assign the dimension, that is 5 millimeter radius. Okay, now look here, our whole sketch is ready. Now we are going to assign the extrusion. Before extrusion we create a line just like this one. Okay, this line has a little bit purpose, I can tell you in the next steps. So now we are going to feature. Select extrude box command and assign the extrusion. The total extrusion is 63 millimeter. Enter here. Okay, now look here. Okay students, now the next step, that is we select this face for sketch and make a construction line, center line, and make this one. Okay, now we confirm this in exact center 31.5. Okay, this is an exact center. We can make a corner rectangle, sorry, center rectangle, just like this one. Okay, now we can assign the dimensions. This one is 44. Okay, this one is 28.4. Okay, now we can place it in exact center, so we can assign the dimension from this line to this one is 0 because we want to meet them 0. Now look here. Okay students, so it is in exact place. So going to features, select the extrude cut command and select the through all. Okay, now look here. Okay students, our part is approximate ready. Now the one thing is remaining, that is we create the hole at this sketch. Select this face for sketch and create a hole, just like this one. Okay, now we assign the dimensions. This one is, the diameter is 13 millimeter dia. Okay, same one, 13 millimeter dia. Okay, now the next one, that is the center of the circle to the edge of the base, that is 31.5. Okay, and then center of the circle to the origin, that is 86. Okay, now it is fully defined. The same we can apply the dimension, that is 31.5. Okay, and from the origin to the center of the circle, that is 86. Enter here. Okay, it is fully defined. Now we can use the extrude cut command. Both are selected, through all. Okay, now the one command is remaining, that is we apply the chamfer. Select the chamfer command and select the edges, this one. Okay, and now the chamfer is 1 millimeter distance and angle is 45. Okay, now look here. Okay students, now our whole part is ready. Now simply we are going to appearances and assign the color, and metal, and here is bronze. Here is number of bronze, we can assign the brush bronze. Now look here. Okay, now we can save it. Save as fixed jaw. Enter here. Okay, now we are going to the next part, and that is movable jaw. So first we select the front plane for sketch, then make a construction lines, first as horizontal as infinite length, just like this one. Okay, now we can make again center line as vertical infinite length. Okay, now we are going to make a sketch, 9 steps. We can first make a 9 steps. just like this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one 9, and okay. Now we can assign the dimensions. Start the dimension. This one is 3. Enter here. This one is also 3. Enter. This one is also 3. Same, this one 3. Making all the series is 3 millimeter. Okay. Now making this one is also 3. Okay students, now look here. If you look, this distance from this point to this one is 27. Okay. And same, this one to this one is 27. Okay. Means all the parts have a same 3 millimeter dimensions. Okay. Now then we make a line, just this point to this one, and then move on this one and like this one. Okay. Take the small dimension and then assign the dimension. This one is 12. Enter here. Okay. And this one is 70. Enter here. Okay. Now, and this one is also a 39. Okay. Now we are going forward and make a mirror the same structure we want to the other side. So select all the lines as we drawn. Select all of these lines and make a mirror about a vertical line, just like this one. Okay. Now look here. Now simply we can make extrusion. Select the extrude boss command. Make a dimension that is 24. Enter here. Okay. Now look here. Okay students. Now we are going forward and select this face for sketch. Now we make a circle at this point randomly and then assign the dimension. Diameter is 28. Enter here. Okay. Now the next one, that is we make a dimension from this center of the circle to the origin of this part, that is 47.80. Enter here. Okay. Now look here. Now the one thing is remaining, that is we make the center of this circle on the center of this part. So we can select this center to this origin. This makes 0. Enter. Now it in exact center. Now we can make it mirror. First we select a center line, just like this one. Okay. Now we make a mirror. Select this circle about mirror the center line. Okay. Now we can use the extrude cut command and assign the, now we can select the through all, just like this one. Okay. Now look here. Okay students, now we are going forward and select this face for sketch and then make a hole. Now we are going to hole wizard and select this hole and select the standard ISO and drill size, and the diameter is 17 millimeter dia. 17 millimeter dia. Okay. And now line 25 millimeter is total length. Okay. Now first we select the face, and then now we can place in it center just like this one. Okay. Select. Okay. Now look here. The drill has been drawn. Now we make a section and watch the drill just like this one. Okay. Now look here. Okay. So we are move on to the next step, and that is a pinhole at this point. Now we select this face for sketch and create a circle randomly at this point, and then assign the small dimension. This one is 3 millimeter dia. Okay. And now the distance from this point to this one is 30.5. Enter here. Okay. This one is 12. Okay. Now look here. Then we make extrude cut. Select the extrude cut command and select the through all. Okay. Now look here. Now simply we can assign the color, appearances, and select the metal. Here is bronze, and now we assign the brush bronze. Now look here. Okay students, now we can save it. Save as movable jaw. Save. Now we are going to forward and make the next part. Now we are moving on forward and create the next part, and that is spindle screw. So first select the front plane for sketch, and then create a center line as a horizontal infinite length. Okay. Now select. So then we create a sketch just like this one, and then moving like this one and like this one. Okay. Now we can assign the dimensions, going to small dimension and assign this one, that is 16 half of 32. This one is 34. Okay. And this one is 150. Okay. and and this one is 30. Okay. Now we can assign the dia, that is 8.5. Okay. And dia of this one is 12. Okay. And this one is 8.5. Okay. Now the fully sketch is defined. So now the one thing is remaining, that is make a half circle. Select the 3 point arc, and then select 2 point here, and then okay. Now we can assign the dimension from center of the circle to this point, that is 20. Enter here. Okay. And then radius is 1.5. Enter here. Okay. And then okay. Now select the trim entities, and then remove this line. Okay. Now it is still not defined. First we make defined it and then moving on. So we can select the center point, press Ctrl key and make a coincident with this line. So first select this point, press Ctrl key and then look here coincident point. Okay. Now it is fully defined. Now we are going forward and apply a chamfer at this point. Select the chamfer command and select angle distance. Distance is 2 millimeter, angle is 45 and select this point. Okay. Now if you look here, okay. Now the chamfer at this end, select the same chamfer command, angle distance, distance is 1 millimeter and angle is 45 and select this point. Okay. Now look here. Now we first make it close. Okay. Now we are going to the revolve boss command and then selected contours, select this face, fully 360 degree. Okay, select line 1 axis of rotation. Okay. Now look here. Okay students. Now we are going forward and then make a screw on this spindle. Now before making the screw on the spindle, first we make this circle on this one, then select the this edge and then make the convert entities just like this one. Now then going to feature, select the curves, helix and spiral and then apply the some dimensions just like pitch. Pitch is 6 millimeter. Now apply the 6 millimeter. Revolution is 25. Enter here and then height is 150 millimeter. Okay, and dia is 24. Now here is start angle 90 degree. Enter here. Okay. Now then we make a sketch. Now select the front plane for sketch just like this one and then create a rectangle just like corner rectangle and then assign the dimensions just like this one is 3 millimeter. Enter here and also this one 3 millimeter. Okay. Now here we want to make this point to this point coincident. So first select this point and press Ctrl key and then select this one. Make this dimension is 0. Enter here. Okay. Now we are going to make the swift cut command use and select here this sketch. Look here this sketch and then select this spiral. Now look here. Okay students, just okay. A screw on a spindle has been drawn. Now we make it invisible. Helix. Now look here. Okay, so we are going forward and then make a circle on it. First we select the front plane for sketch and then create a circle just like this one and then assign the dimensions. Select the smart dimension. The diameter is 13 millimeter dia. Okay, and distance from the center of the circle to the end is 18 millimeter length. Okay. Now it is still undefined, so make it defined first. Select the center plane and press Ctrl key and select this origin and make horizontal. Okay, now look here. Then select the feature and select the extrude cut command, and here select through all. Now here select the mid plane and then select increase the values. Okay, now look here. Okay, going to appearances and select the metal. Here is chromium plate. Okay, now look here. Okay, now we can save it. Save as. Here is spindle screw. Okay, now the next part is going forward and create the next part. First we select the front plane for sketch, and here create a center line horizontal as infinite length, just like this one. Okay, and here we create a circle, two circles, and create another two circles, and then assign the dimensions. This one is 22 millimeter dia, this one is 38 millimeter dia, same this one is 22 millimeter dia, and this one is 34. Okay, and the distance between them is 48 millimeter. Now it is fully defined. Now we can create a center line as vertical infinite length, just like this one. Okay, and select the mirror entities. Select these two circles, mirror about vertical center line. Okay, now we can make a random line and then make tangent with these outer two circles. First select this line and then press Ctrl key and then select this outer circle, and then here is tangent option. Same, select this line first, press Ctrl key and select this circle, and here is tangent option. Okay, now we can remove the extra line, use the trim entities. Okay, now select the mirror entities to mirror, select this line, mirror about the center line. Okay, now again select the mirror entities and select all of these two lines and mirror about vertical center line. Okay, now look here. Okay students, now going to feature, select the extrude boss command, select this face, this one. Okay, and here we choose mid plane and assign the total dimension is 31. Okay, again we are going to sketch and then going to extrude boss command, select this face, also this one and this one, mid plane same, and the total length is 35. Enter here. Okay, now look here students, approximate part is ready. Now we can assign the fillet. Select the edges carefully, select this edge, also this one, and in the other side select this face, sorry edge, select this edge, this not a face, select carefully edge. Okay, we can select all the edges and then simply assign the dimension. 2 mm radius. Enter here. Okay. Now look here. Okay, students. Now again we can make the same screw as we design in the spindle. Inside this circle we can make the same screws. So first we create a circle, select this face for sketch and create a circle of 22 mm dia. Assign dimensions 22 mm dia. Enter here. Okay. Now going to feature curves, helix and spiral, and the same we assign previous in case of spindle, the same dimension we assign. The pitch is 6 mm and revolution is 25, and then 180 replaces with 90, and then okay, and diameter is 22 mm. Okay. Now we select the height and revolution. Select height is 150. Okay. Now we can make in reverse direction, just like this one. Okay. Now look here. Okay, students. Now select the right plane for sketch, just like this one. And here we make a sketch of rectangle, center rectangle, just like this one. And then assign the dimensions 3 mm. Enter here. This one is also 3 mm. Enter here. Okay. Now we can make some relation. Select this point and make this point with that is 0 mm to make coincident both of them. Okay, like this one. Okay, students. Now we can use the command that is swift cut. Okay, now we can use the swift cut command, just like this one, and here we select this path. Okay, now look here. Okay, students, now we can make it hide. Now look here. Okay, students, now simply we can assign the color, going to appearances, and here select the metal bronze. Here is brush bronze. Okay, now we can save it. Save as, and that is connecting wedge. Now we are going to the next part. Now we are going to the next part, and that is mounting shaft. So now first we select the front plane for sketch and then create a center line as a horizontal infinite length. Okay. Now we create a sketch randomly and then assign the dimensions, just like this one. Okay. Now here we assign the dimension. Now we create a circle, just like this one, and then assign the dimension. This one is 44 mm dia, and then make distance to origin is 22 is the radius. Okay. Now here we assign the dimension. This one is 14. Okay. Now select this point, press Ctrl key and select this circle. and here coincident. Now look here. Okay, now use the trim entities and remove extra circle. Now look here. Okay, so now we are going forward and assign this a dimension 155 millimeter. Okay, now we can assign this dimension. This one is 10 millimeter. Okay, now we can delete this one and create again just like this one. Okay, and assign the dimension. This one is 8 millimeter. Now look here. Okay, now this dimension is 30. This one is 25. Okay, now the sketch is fully defined and the one chamfer is remaining. At this edge we create a chamfer. First we select OK, select the chamfer. This is the edge, angle, distance. Select this edge. First we assign the dimension 1 millimeter. Select this edge. OK, now simply we are going to feature. Select the world boss command. Yes, we can take as open. Okay, now look here. Okay students, so now select this face for sketch. First we select the plane, front plane for sketch. Select this face for sketch and then create a circle and then assign the dimension, that is 13.05. Enter here. Okay, and now the distance from 20, and now distance from the center of the circle to that point is 20. Enter here. Okay, now we can use the extrude cut command. Extrude cut command, select through all both. Okay, now look here. Okay students, now we are going forward and make the threads at this cylinder of the shaft. Now going to insert. Here is annotation and cosmetic threads. Now we can select the edge first. Select this edge and then standard is ISO. M16 is the best. Machinist thread up to next. Okay, now here is no threads has been seen, so we are going to setting, document properties. Here is detailing and on this shaded cosmetic threads. Enter here. Now look here, the cosmetic threads has been visualized. Okay students, now we can simply going to assign the color, going to appearances and select the metal. Here is chromium plate. Now look here. Okay, so we can save it. Mounting shaft. Now we are going to the next part. Now we are going forward and create the next part, that is turning shaft. First we select the front plane for sketch. create again center line as a horizontal infinite length. Okay, now we create the sketch just like this one and create this one. Okay, now we assign the dimensions. This one is 4 millimeter, half of 8 millimeter dia, and this one is 11. Enter here. Okay, this one is 182, and now we can delete it, and then again we can create it. Now select the line and then create this one like this one. Okay, now we assign the dimension. Same, this one is 11 and this one is 4. Okay, and this one is 6.5. Enter here. Now we are going to feature. First we click OK. Going to feature revolve boss command. Yes. Okay. Now turning shaft has been ready. Now simply we are going to appearances and same chromium plate. Okay. Now we can save it. Turning shaft. Now we are going forward and create the next part. Now we are moving on forward and create the next part, that is knob. First we select the front plane for sketch and then create a center line, horizontal, infinite length. Okay, and then create a line simply just like this one, and again one more line. Okay, now we can assign the dimension. This one is 4.05. Enter here, and this one is 6. Okay, now the length of this one is 11, same as this one, 11. Enter here. Okay, and now we can make close it. Same as make close it. Okay, now we can delete it, and then here we can create a circle at the center of this one and then assign the dimension. This one is 11 millimeter dia. Okay, and now we can trim the extra circle, this one also, and this one. Okay, now we can use the, first we make it defined and then use the revolve boss command, and okay, now look here. Okay students, this is basically a knob. Now we are going to make the next part. First we select the front plane for sketch, and now we are making the mounting pin. First we select the circle and then assign the dimensions. The dimension is 13 millimeter dia. Enter here. Okay. Now we are going to feature and select the extrude boss command and then simple assign the extrusion 63 millimeter. Okay. Now we can assign the fillet at both edges. Select the fillet command and then select the edges carefully and then assign the radius 0.50. Enter here. Okay. Now look here. The mounting pin has been ready. Now we assign the color. Going to color command and then assign the color as we assign the knob. Dark color. Select this face and now look here. Okay. Now we can save it and going to the next part. Mounting pin. Enter. Now simply we are going to the next part. Now we are going to the next part and that is moving pin. So first we select the front plane for sketch and then create a center line as a horizontal infinite length. Okay. Now we create a sketch just like this one and then moving upward and then like this one. Okay. Now we can assign the dimension. This one is 3 millimeter. This one is 6.5 millimeter. Enter here. And now this one is 6 millimeter. This one is 63.5 millimeter. And then we can move this point just like this one and moving like this one. Okay. Now we can assign dimension this one 6 millimeter. Enter here. Okay. And this one is 7 millimeter. Enter here. And this one is 3 millimeter. Enter here. Okay. From this point to this one is 10 millimeter. Okay. Now we can use the command revolve boss and just like okay. Now look here. Our moving pin is ready. Now we can make a fillet at this edge. First we select the fillet and then create a fillet at also this edge. Now assign the fillet 0.5. Okay. Now look here. Okay students. Now next one that is to make a cosmetic threads on this surface. So going to insert annotation and here is cosmetic threads. Now select the ISO machine thread M6 up to next. First we select the edge and here is up to next. Okay. And now the thread is not visible, so going to settings, going to document properties, here is detailing and on this option enter here. Now look here. The cosmetic thread is visible. Now we are just going to assign the color, going to color command and then assign the color. Dark color just like this one. Okay. Now our part is ready. Now the only last part is remaining, that is a little bit pin that goes inside a small hole in a movable jaw. So first we save it, save as moving pin, enter. Now we can going to new file, part, okay, and ready for sketch, select front plane for sketch and create a circle and then assign the dimension 3 millimeter, enter here. Okay. Now we are going to feature, select extrude boss command and then make the length of extrusion 26 millimeter, enter here. Okay. Now look here. Now we simply assign the fillet at both edges, select this edge and this edge, remove the face, only select edge, just like this one. Okay. Now the radius is 0.2. Okay. Now we are going to simple assign the color, just like this one, this surface. Okay. Now we can save it, save as pin, enter. Now students, all the parts has been creating. Now we are going to the assembly to assemble all the parts. Now let's start the assembly. First we insert the components. Here we select the folder in which we paste our parts. Now we can insert one by one. For example, first we insert fixed jaw, open here. Now we can zoom out. Okay. Now we can insert more objects and here is we can insert a mounting shaft, open here. We press the tab and then we can rotate in x-axis like this one. Okay. Now we can press Ctrl key and make a copy of this shaft, just like this one. Okay. Now here we use the mate commands and select the concentric command and make concentric with this hole. We can select here, just like this one. Okay. Now look here, it is concentric. Now we can use the width command here, going to advanced and select the width command and select carefully this face and this circular. Now okay, it is in exact center. Now we can again use the concentric command for the second shaft, standard, use concentric command and select this hole and make concentric with this one. Okay, again use width command and first we delete this face and select this face and this circular. Now look here. Okay students, the both shaft exact center of the fixed jaw. Now We can insert the next component. Here is we can insert the wedge, connecting wedge. Open here. Now press the tab just like this one. Okay. Now here we use the mate command. First we make concentric. Select this hole, make concentric with this one. Okay. Now look here. Okay. So now we can again use concentric command and make concentric with this one just like this one. Okay. Now we can use the coincident command and then make coincident this surface with this surface. Okay. Now look here. It is fixed. Okay students, no need for this one because the one surface is coincident, then the next one is automatically coincident with this surface. Now we are moving forward and insert the next components. We can insert the spindle screw. Open here, press the tab and rotate in x-axis like this one. Okay. Now here we use the mate commands again and make concentric first. Select this face and make concentric with this one. Okay. Now look here. It is movable. Now insert the component and then first we insert the turning shaft. Open here and now put them. Okay. Now we use the mate command again and make concentric first. Select this face, make concentric with this one. Okay. Now we are going to the advanced and select the width command and then select the faces carefully. First select this face and then this face and make center of this spindle just like this one. Okay. Now look here. This shaft, this turning shaft is in exact center of this spindle. Now we can insert the knob and then fix them in both edges. Now we can press Ctrl key and make copy of this knob. Now here is two copies. Now we can use the mate command and make concentric first. Select this area of knob and select this cylinder, make concentric. Now look here and use coincident command and make it fix with this surface just like this one. Okay. Now same operation applying for the next knob. Select concentric first and make concentric with this face. Okay. And now make it fix. Select the coincident command and select this face, make coincident with this face. Okay. Now look here. Okay students, now it's time to apply the screw relation. Select the mate command and mechanical, select the screw command, distance revolution, select the this screw and here select this surface and make some relation just like pitch 6 millimeter. Enter here. Okay. Now look here. It can move down, it will rotate. Okay students, I hope you will understand it better. Now it's time to insert the movable jaw. Insert component, and here is movable jaw, just like this one. Okay, now we are going to the mate commands. Now we can use the command. First we select the plane. Here we use the plane, right plane. Okay, and now we are going to mate command and make symmetric this jaw first. Going to advanced and symmetric. Now we select the both end surfaces of this jaw. Now it is symmetric of this right plane. Okay, now we are going forward and make concentric. We going to advance, going to standard, select the concentric, make concentric, select this face and make concentric with this one. Okay, now we can make it fix. Select the coincident command and make coincident this surface with this one. Okay, now look here, it is moving up and down. Now if you look here, this jaw move and cross this wedge, and if move downward then it's cross the fixed jaw. It is basically not a realistic, so we make it realistic and assign the distance, mean minimum and maximum distance to this jaw. So we are going to the distance command. First we select the met, and here we going to advance, select this distance command, and first we select the faces. Select this face and then select this face, and then assign the minimum distance is 1 millimeter and the maximum is 85. Enter here. Okay, now look here, it is moving downward maximum 85 millimeter and moving upward minimum 1 millimeter. Okay, now we are moving forward and insert the next components, and we can insert the moving pin. Okay, now we can make some relation. Select the met command, and first we make concentric with this one, reverse condition. Okay, now just like that. Okay students, now we use the command coincident this face with this face. Now look here. Okay students, insert the next component, and that is basically a mounting pin. Open. Okay, and use the met commands, and here select we concentric first and make concentric with this one. Okay, and now here we use the width command. Select the width command and select this face and select this face, make center of this circular spindle. Okay, now look here. Okay students, now we are going forward and insert the next component, and that is basically a small pin, this pin. Okay, and insert inside this small hole of the movable jaw. Now again use the met command and select the concentric first and make concentric this one with this one. Okay, now here again we use the width command. Select this face carefully and select the other face just like this one, and select this face movable jaw and this face. Now look here, it is moving inside the exact center. Okay students, now all the components has been used. Now finally we can insert the nut. So first we make it okay. Now going to library, and here is toolbox, add in now. Now here we select the ISO, select the nut. Here is number of nuts, but we use X nut. And here is number of grade A ISO 4032, but I use the grade A. ISO is the better one. Now we can drag it and place at this point. Okay, no issue. First we select the size, that is M16, and thread display schematic. Okay, now we can place at that point just like this one. Okay, and also this point. Okay, now the extra we can delete it just like this one. Okay, delete. Yes, now we can also delete this one. Okay, now the same procedure we can set another nut at this point. Okay, same procedures, drag the nut and place at this point. Okay, assign the size M6 here, and thread display same schematic. Okay, now look here, it is perfectly adjusted. Now cross this one. Okay, now look here. Okay students, now if you want to assign the color of these nuts, just simple going to color command and then assign the color, as we can assign the dark color to the other simple objects same. Okay, now look here. Okay students, so this is our all the assembly. We can make it easily step by step. I hope you will understand it better. Now look here, it is moved down smoothly and use the threads relation. Okay, so now students, this is our pipe wise assembly. I hope you will understand it better. Thanks for watching this pipe wise tutorial. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more mechanical and workshop projects. Comment below what project you want to see next. See you in the next video. Stay safe, stay with us. Allah Hafiz.